Okay, welcome back everybody to another MTGO League. This time I'm going to be playing something a bit different again, something we've played before, but a few changes. So we're on Mardu Midrange, and we've got no Lurrus, so we have unlocked some of the cards with a CMC greater than 2. Yeah, really like the colour combo of Mardu, always have, and yeah, fancied playing some of my favourite cards, Liliana and Veil being one. So see if we can compete here. So pretty classic red, black, white stuff these days. So you've got all the Ragavans, discard spells, removal spells, and then we are running Liliana Veil, Bonecrusher Giant, which doubles the removal spell, which is nice, and then Seasoned Pyromancer, Guile against command, rounding out our kind of interactive suite. And then we get 4 Prismatic Endings, one of the best cards from Modern Horizons 2. So yeah, and then the sideboard, pretty classic. We've got 4 Leyline of the Void, just don't want big game against some of the graveyard decks that are running around. Leyline of the Void I think is really good at the moment, and especially in a deck where you've got multiple ways to, if you draw it, Seasoned Pyromancer can get rid of it for a token. Like, you can just discard it to Liliana of the Veil. So yeah, on that plan today. Extra Thoughtseize, only running 6 in the main. Standard Chalice and Ease for the Cascade and Hammer matchups. And then we've got 3 copies of Fracture, which was pointed out to me in the last time we ran this deck, that this hits quite a lot of important stuff at the moment. So yeah, let's give this a go. Hope everyone's having a good day today. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you're enjoying it. Powering up towards 300 subscribers, that's great. Really enjoying making the content. So yeah, let's get into round number 1. Okay, opponent's revealed Lurrus. So, given my opponent's revealed Lurrus, I think we're going to keep this hand. Triple Prismatic Ending allows us to fight through quite a lot of stuff here. Hand's fairly Thoughtseize proof as well. Opponent probably takes Kroxa. Yeah, would have mulliganed this if my opponent hadn't have revealed Lurrus, I think. Okay, we draw Inquisition. So, we're definitely playing Kroxa next turn, so we might as well fetch Shock here. Well, yeah. So I'll go and get black, white. The Shrine. Yep. Inquisition. Opponent took one of the endings. Well, they got another Thoughtseize, Shadow. Okay, so I think we're actually going to take... Opponent could go Thoughtseize, Shadow, but then we just ending it. I wonder if we're just meant to take Thoughtseize here. Then my opponent can't play Shadow next turn. Or are we meant to take Iteration? I think I'm just going to take Iteration here. Yeah, Iteration can go. Maybe we're meant to take Thoughtseize to protect our endings, but neither one of us really wants to play our Kroxa because the other person just discards Kroxa. Okay, so there's Watery Grave. Could be Thoughtseize, Shadow, but we're fine with that. Okay, he takes another ending. We're going to play the Shadow. If they do, we obviously just ending that. Actually, Bolt's better here. Might as well just bolt that. Ending kills a lot more of my opponent's stuff. Okay, opponent drew another Expressive Iteration, which is pretty pretty good here. We need to find another land. Maybe 22 lands is ambitious in this deck. But, yeah. Okay, opponent misses and misses on heat. I think I'm just going to play Kroxa here. Opponent will just discard their Kroxa, but I think that's fine. We draw another bolt, which isn't too bad. Maybe we're meant to hold that for Ragavan. Okay, that's their draw for turn. Okay, Thoughtseize. So opponent has dealt with all of our iterations. Oh, another shadow. It's just bigger than our bolt as well. Could do with drawing another land at some point. Oh, Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay. So yeah, obviously we need to draw something here. Opponent could have Drown in the lock by now as well, which should be pretty bad. No attacks from our opponent. Another shadow. Wonder if I don't know. I would imagine well, maybe our opponent thinks we're on shadow. Yeah, so we're bolting that. No cards in hand for my opponent. That's a really good draw. So yeah, we're going to Spyro here. Want to use our mana. Well, there's a Liliana of the Veil. I wonder if we're meant to block here. I think we're going to block one. And then we save... we could Kroxa here. Kroxa... yeah. The thing with Kroxa is my opponent... If my opponent's found Drown in the lock, Kroxa still dies to Drown. I think I'm just going to go Lily here, and then get rid of one of my opponent's shadows, play a Bloodstained Mire and pass. And then we can block with Death Shadow. Hopefully my opponent just puts Lurrus to hand here. That would be really good. Because then we can block here and then get rid of both of my opponent's cards. Kolaghan's command's pretty good. Yeah, that was probably my opponent's best draw. Okay. Well, we'll go and get the Triome. Need to draw... We got a lot of good draws, to be fair. Yeah, that's no good. So we'll just tick up. If our opponent rips a land, we die. It's close, this. Depends. It really depends what our opponent draws. So we'll exile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Opponent goes to 3. Yeah, that Kolaghan's command really hurt us because we can't even make a blocker now. Oh, our opponent just finds a land for Kroxa. Yeah. Okay, we were in that game. That's pretty irritating. That Kolaghan's command was, yeah, pretty much. It was not the only thing that hurts us there, but yeah, definitely the best card my opponent could have drawn, given it's a 1-of as well. Okay, so we're gonna. I think Leyline of the Void is probably good here. Terminate and Engineered Explosives. I think we can cut some of the Thoughtseizes. Ending's great. Bonecrusher. We want all the 3 mana cards. We want all the Ragavans. Is Leyline of the Void really what we want to be doing? Guess we could cut the other Inquisitions. It's a bad top deck. And then maybe 1 copy of Lightning Bolt. I mean, we could bring in Chalice and try and Chalice on one of them. We're not running that many ones. No, I think this is probably fine. Oh, that game was yeah, there were a few dead draws for my opponent there. I guess Unholy Heat's really good. It kills our... yeah, I guess they did quite a lot of things that just kill us there. Second Kroxa... Kolaghan's command would have been okay. But there we go. Okay, so we'll be on the play. I think the deck could probably use an extra land. Or maybe two. Just one, I think. So yeah, this is pretty ideal. We've got a Leyline and a turn 1 Ragavan. So yeah, we'll keep this. Got all our colours as well. And a removal spell for our opponent's creature. Leyline of the Void just means we're so much less afraid of Lurrus, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Let's play the monkey. I'd imagine this just dies, but could be that our opponent goes for a creature on one. Then we can just bolt it. Opponent deciding whether they like their top card or not. Probably a removal spell, given that they've kept it. I see. This is the trouble with ley lines. Okay, yeah. Opponent killing Ragavan. Oh, no. Yeah. This is fine. Cancel. Yeah, not wanting to cycle the Triome, want to play that. We could have played Kroxa there, actually. Probably should have done. There's Ragavan. I think we're just going to bolt here. Opponent could have Spell Pierce. Probably want to save that for our Liliana this turn. Bonecrusher's pretty good as well. Are we meant to save Bonecrusher for a Ragavan? I think I'd rather play Kroxa here. Start getting some stuff out of my opponent's hand. They get rid of a bolt. So yeah, we're just going to save this Leyline of the Void for opponent's Kroxas or Liliana, or if we find Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, nothing for our opponent. Okay, Marsh Flats. I wonder if I'm meant to just cast Bonecrusher here. Or if I'm meant to save it to try and get a 2 for 1. I think I'm going to save it. I think we're going to save it there. Okay, Dress Down is far. Oh, yeah, okay, so this could be Kroxa. That's bad. Yeah, so we're going to need to find a removal spell now. Okay. That's definitely a way out for our opponent, out from under. Leyline, Liliana, Guile. Okay, I think here we're just going to go... I think we will... Well, is it worth stomping? I think so. Want to get some value. Opponent could Spell Pierce that, but... Okay. Opponent could have a bolt or something here. Yeah, that dress down Kroxa was that really hurt. Don't know if I'm meant to block. Actually, yes, I am, because if I block here, I can cast my own Kroxa next turn. Okay, opponent's got Shadow. Oh, double Shadow. EE? Oh, another Bloodstained Mire. Yeah, not going the best for us here. We're going to have to discard this land anyway, so... Yeah, opponent's hands lined up very, very well against our Leyline. So we would like... Yeah, we're going to keep Bonecrusher in for potential Kolaghan's command. Yeah, really now looking for Kaya's Guile, Liliana's fine, Ending's really good. Opponent did have the Spell Pierce there. Opponent could have another dress down, of course, which would mean, well, I mean, we just die this turn if it's dressed down. Okay, so opponent attacking with Kroxa. I think I have to block. Taking 6 would put us to 7. Did I bring in the engineered explosives? I did. So if I don't block, engineered explosives wins on the spot. I mean, my opponent's just going to do this every turn is the trouble. I think I'm going to block here. Engineered explosives obviously still amazing as well. Okay, yeah, I'm looking a bit stupid now for singing the praises of Leyline of the Void. I mean, we've drawn 3 of them in 15 cards, so not the most likely. So yeah, Kaya's Guile, Liliana's not terrible. Another Kroxa. Well, we know our opponent hasn't got any lands, but yeah, we're probably just dead here. Okay, opponent gets rid of Unholy Heat. Another thing that's turned off by Leyline might be okay, so opponent doesn't have... Yeah, so Kaya's Guile possibly not an out now. Opponent could just have Bolt. Yeah, I feel like we drew really, really badly that turn, that game. Yeah, at any point here, Kaya's Guile, engineered explosives, prismatic ending, Seasoned Pyromancer. I mean, there's Liliana. So a couple of turns. Drawing that a couple of turns prior would have been really good. There we go. That's the way it goes. See you for the next round. Okay, playing round number 2. We're against Amulet Go, which I don't know if that's a sign of what deck my opponent will be playing, but we're going to mulligan this one lander. This is a lot better. I think we're going to get rid of Kaya's Guile here, keep a couple of Thoughtseizes. Need to draw our 3rd land. Okay, looks like it is potentially Amulet. Okay, so we're going to Thoughtseize here, or it could be Hammer. Right. Okay, so I'm going to take the Summoner's Pact here, and then next turn we'll Thoughtseize the Azusa. Opponent's going to use this to go and get Amulet, I would say. There's Castle. Okay, that's our 3rd land, so that's nice. Gonna Thoughtseize again. Dryad. I don't think we care about as much. Oh, we struggle to kill Dryad at the moment. So we'll take the Dryad, play our Mountain, pass. Making mana. Got another Saga in hand. Okay, they are going to get to make a lot of mana here. Okay, so here's a Souza. We've got the Bolt for it. Opponent playing the Saga, which is good for us because now yeah, they're kind of stuck on 2 lands now. They do have the Amulet, which is a little bit scary. Kroxa. Okay, so I think we're going to just go Seasoned Pyromancer here. You know, we get 2 tokens, and discarding Kroxa is obviously amazing. Okay, so we find some good ones. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command especially. And Liliana's historically very good against Amulet as well. Okay, so we're going to get an attack here. And then potentially when our opponent makes the token. Okay, they're playing around it, which is fine. So they probably go and get another. I wonder if I'm meant to shatter the Amulet and make my opponent. I don't think making my opponent discard does much. So I think maybe we're just meant to get back something. Or we could go Liliana. Go Liliana, uptick, start that process going. If my opponent only has 1 Amulet, I think I'd rather do that. Okay, the question is, do I want to kill this? I think I'm... yeah, it can threaten my Liliana. Deal 2 damage. Hope that's right. So opponent will have to sacrifice a land here. Okay, they make another token. We can lightning bolt that. So they'll go and get another Amulet. They find another Urza Saga. We find a Liliana of the Veil. I think we're just going to Edict here. Because I want to get my attacks in. Could do with drawing a 4th land for this Kroxa. Okay, Castle Garenbrig. Okay, Kolaghan's Command is we'll take another Kolaghan's Command. I think we're just doing the same play now. Although here, I wonder if we're meant to... I'm just going to get rid of the other Liliana. Because Bolt, my opponent is at 8 life. Okay, opponent chucks Misty. So I think we're going to just make the same play here. So I'll go K command. Same thing. Artifact this. It's possible we were meant to hit my opponent for 2. Okay, so opponent can probably tighten us here if they want. They make the mana. Kind of want to see them make a token. So if they make the mana, they'll have 1, 2, 3. They get the amulet and play a bounce land. Yeah, they can definitely tighten us. I think we've got some fairly good sideboard here. Thoughtseize, Fracture, Alpine Moon, all good. Okay, opponent making the mana and getting an expedition map, so that wasn't something I was expecting. Opponent gets Paducah Bog, which is interesting. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, ending. So yeah, we'll attack here. Put my opponent to 4. Tick up Liliana. They haven't actually got the mana for for Titan. Oh, we've got 4. They have got mana for Titan if they play a untapped green land, which we don't know they have. Okay, that's just a Saga. Grazer, so that's not really a blocker. So we don't know the last card in my opponent's hand. We could just bolt the Grazer, we could bolt my opponent. I think I'm just going to bolt my opponent here. Okay, we do get there. So yeah, we just kind of made them stumble enough, just enough there to get there. Definitely a matchup that I kind of wish I'd kept Blood Moons in the side, but okay. So we want the Fractures, we want the Alpine Moons, we want the Thoughtseize. We can do without Lightning Bolts. Terminates can be okay. Bonecrusher is a decent threat. Tourach is likely to be a bit slow. Maybe cut a couple of Tourachs. What do we think of that? I'd quite like to find room for this Terminate. Let's get rid of 1 Bonecrusher maybe. Yeah, risk of overboarding maybe here, but I think this is fine. I guess the bolt was key there for killing Souza. But yeah, Fracture deals with a lot of stuff. Yeah, this hand's good. It's got an ending for if my opponent goes turn 1 Amulet. No turn 1 Amulet. Okay, so this is very... I mean, this is pretty likely to be a turn 1 Veil of Summer. So I would often Thoughtseize here. But yeah, I'm just going to... Or it could be that my opponent just has a bounce land. 2 mana, explore. Okay, Sanctuary. So we get to double Thoughtseize and hit with Ragavan here. Potentially triple Thoughtseize. Okay, so we hit him for 2. We just see Simic Growth Chamber. So let's fire up. We're going to Thoughtseize first, so that we know whether we want to use this Inquisition. Okay, so let's take Summoner's Pact. We'll fetch again. Go get Godless Shrine. Inquisition. Take this Dryad. Now I don't think we care about Thoughtseizing Don't think we care about Thoughtseizing the Grazer. I think I'd rather wait until you know, wait a turn. Oh, I guess that kills. It blocks Ragavan, but we do have the ending for it. Okay, Cliffs. So yeah, we're ending that. Need to. We could stomp it. How much would you rather just stomp it? Yeah, I think that's better actually. Because then we can save. We can save the. We can save the ending for a amulet. We're going to Thoughtseize here just in case our opponent's drawn Primeval Titan. They haven't, but you know, next turn my opponent can, from any point here on in, my opponent can just cast a Titan off the top. So as can we now if we find a Titan on the top of my opponent's deck. Okay, Radiant Fountain. So we'll just cast this Bonecrusher. Play a land and pass. Yeah, Titan's obviously really scary. Okay, Engineered Explosives on 1. So that kills our Ragavan, but that's fine. We're not going to get the Triome here. I'm going to get Sacred Foundry because we've got quite a lot of mana. So if we draw Sacred Foundry as a land, we can cycle it. Yeah, Fracture's not too bad actually. So one choice here would have been to go. We could have ending the explosives. My opponent cracks it. Maybe that would have been better, and then we could dash the Ragavan. Just going to play a Ragavan here. So we would have got a hit in with a Ragavan. But, I mean, yeah, I guess here the clock is the same. Wouldn't mind drawing Terminate now. That's also a fine draw. Yeah, that's actually really good. Amulet of Vigor. Yeah, we don't care about casting that. I want to hold up Blood Crypt, I think. Wouldn't mind drawing a Terminate to insulate us from a Titan. Okay. Well, Kolaghan's command's not bad. Opponent hasn't actually got the double. Hasn't actually got the ability to give the Titan haste, so opponent rips Titan, play Titan. Yeah, okay, we do get there. Excellent. Yeah, weird to, you know, we kind of lost Shadow, which I feel like should be a good matchup with our kind of heavy hitters, and then we win this one, which should be a horrible matchup usually with Titan. But yeah, seemed pretty good. See you for the next round. Right, we're getting to Kahira. So Elementals or 4-color probably, or it could be Control. Yeah, we're going to keep this. Potential for turn 2 Liliana, which is what we like. So yeah, we're going to lead off with a Blood Crypt and Ragavan. I would imagine this gets endinged. Depends what my opponent's on. Tarn. Okay. We're going to attack here. Opponent's got Solitude. Okay. So, question now is whether we want to sell a 2-for-1 Yeah, question now is whether we want to play our Triome out, or this could go and get Godless Shrine, and we've kind of got all of our colours. Yeah, I think I'd rather hold the Triome to potentially cycle later. Okay, so yeah, this is control, which we do have 2 Tourachs in the main. Okay, so opponent probably has counterspell here. So yeah, we'll go and get Godless Shrine. Drawing something like Kolaghan's Command would be nice. Okay, so that's a really good one. Given that we've drawn the Seasoned Pyromancer, I think we're just slamming now. Maybe we were meant to... Okay, so that eats counterspell. Maybe we were meant to wait. I think my opponent counters anything we do there. Ooh, Kroxa. So that kind of makes me want to play the Triome now. Or are we just slamming? No, Seasoned Pyromancer uses our mana. We are going to have to play the Triome now. Another counterspell, sure. Opponent has to run out of them at some point. Okay, could be Jace, but we've got an answer to Jace. Yeah, they uptick, which is pretty bad for us. Okay, they let us draw. So we'll Kroxa here. Maybe we were meant to Seasoned Pyromancer and make some tokens. Okay, gets rid of Supreme Verdict. So yeah, can't quite ending the Jace. Yeah, sadly Jace can just win the game by himself now. Yeah, maybe we were meant... Yeah, we were probably just meant to make tokens here, actually. Yeah, I think that's a misplay on my part. Okay, Kahira to hand. I think I'm just going to bolt here, because if we draw another bolt, we can kill the Jace. We've got ending for Kahira. Okay, Blood Crypt. So yeah, wouldn't mind finding Kolaghan's Command. Another Kroxa. So maybe I'm not meant to make the same mistake again and just... I think I'm just going to pass here and we'll make tokens. Need to kill the Jace, really. Okay, so the opponent plays Kahira and a Hall of Storm Giants. So yeah, we'll make some tokens here. And then I think we're going to... Okay, so land. So we're going to... Okay, so this is a bit awkward because we'd like to use all our mana, but we need to kill the Jace. So I'm going to try and ending this. Actually, we'll... Do you think our opponent plays Spell Pierce in the main? I guess we should do this to give our opponent less information. As to what to discard. Hopefully they haven't found another counter spell. I mean, they could have obviously found Unholy Heat. Opponent's got something. Could even be force. We're not too bothered about force. Oh, I mean, that's worst possible. We'll pass turn. Yeah, worst possible draw there for opponent. This Jace has just done so much work. I think it's drawn 12 cards. Obviously, opponent has to put 2 back each time, but maybe we could do the... Well, what creature lands are there in Mardu? I don't actually know. Den of the Bugbear, maybe? There's the black one as well. Another land, so we're just playing our Kroxa out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another counterspell. That's the third copy of counterspell. I suppose they have been digging with Jace forever. Weirdly, we're keeping up just about with them. Okay, opponent fate sealing us. Marsh Flats. I guess if we're going to draw a land, that's the best one. It fuels Kroxa and it stops Jace doing its thing. Okay, Cycling Shark Typhoon is pretty good. Pass the turn here, but this is pretty much over. Don't know how much sideboard we've got against this. Fracture seems good. Thoughtseize. That's about it though. Slams in for 5. Yeah, this Jace is really, really hurt. Chalice on 1. Okay. So opponent is on Chalice. Well, we'll play this Liliana. We've got another counterspell. Cryptic. Memory Deluge. This card's really good. Okay, well, we'll make them sacrifice their shark. Yeah, it's not too bad. Dress down. Okay. So a Seasoned Pyromancer or something is really nice. Yeah, this Jace has just won the game by itself pretty much. Just sat there drawing cards every turn. What's this? Could be Deluge again. Okay, killing the Liliana. That does let us escape the Kroxa at least. Don't know, I think my opponent could probably just another land. Drawing a lot of lands here. Okay, dress down is fine. Opponent can just bounce it. Yeah, I think I'm ready to just call it, to be honest. Opponent can just bounce it with Jace. Yeah, they've got Deluge in the graveyard. Don't think there's much we could do there. Didn't see a discard spell, so that always makes it a bit harder against the control decks. So we're going to bring in Thoughtseize. We can take out Terminate. We can bring in the Fractures. Ending isn't the best here actually. It kills to Fairy. but that's about it. Yeah, I think we can cut some endings. That's probably better. Yeah, so brought in some good cards. I could definitely be sold on the something like Alpine Moon or Terminate being better than this ending, given that we saw Shark Typhoon and Hall of Storm Giants, but okay. So this is a bit of an awkward one. If we draw another land, we can go turn 3 Pyro. I think we're going to keep it. It's quite a good grindy hand. It's got an ending. I mean, not that that's great. Do we want to Inquisition now is the question. I think so. Just in case we draw something next turn. There's a Rest in Peace, but we can actually ending that eventually. I think I will take the Rest in Peace. Maybe we should have... Yeah, maybe we were meant to just wait for the ending. Annoyingly, a Ragavan would have been really good here. Oh no. Well, if we... Yeah, my opponent can now counter. Stick Gate. Yeah, so opponent's got counterspell up. Okay, so Ragavan... this is bad. I guess we dash. Opponent goes counterspell. Yeah, maybe this wasn't a keep. Yeah, we really needed to hit that third land on time. Probably should have mulliganed. I think the deck needs another land. I think I'd look to add that for the next iteration of the deck. Okay, that's it's not quite the land we want. So if my opponent makes a shark here, actually I don't think we do Kolaghan's Command to kill the shark. So I'm going to go return target creature card. I'm going to make my opponent discard here. We've got multiple answers to this shark token. Okay, gets rid of ending. So we do know that they have another counter spell. Oh, it's not Jace again, is it? It's a fairy. Okay. That's a good draw. So we're going to go land. Yeah. Let's go ending this. We could just ending the Teferi. Actually, I quite like that. I think I prefer that. Especially while my opponent hasn't got a counter spell up. They could have force. I'm just going to cast Ragavan here. So yeah, the ending coming in handy there. Path? Okay, so they had an ending from the Teferi, sure. Okay, so no, my opponent's got counter spell. They add Kahira to their hand. Okay, Cliffs. So yeah, I don't want to... Okay, so there's Kahira. So I'm going to use my Kolaghan's Command here. We're kind of trying to bait out a counter spell a bit. Okay, so they've got one card in hand and it's counter spell. So shall I bolt here. I think I'm going to use my mana. Do we wait for a discard spell? Yeah, I think we're just going to say go here. Maybe I should have gone Seasoned Pyromancer and then buy it back, but you know, we're both top decking. I've got good cards now. I just need to find a discard spell. Okay, Bonecrusher Giant. We can. Yeah, I'm going to use that. Might as well stomp. Opponent might use counter spell here. Okay. Celestial Purge. Okay, so we know what my opponent's got in hand. It's just counter spell. Okay, that's a pretty good draw. Opponent will counter this. Yeah. We've got another one for next turn. Okay, so in response to the Teferi tick up, we're going to fracture that. Don't want my opponent drawing anything. Yeah, fracture doing good work there. Okay, so land. So we need our opponent to not have a counter here. Okay, might as well play the land. Opponent's got one card in hand. Okay, Spyro resolves. Okay, I think I'm fine holding this Inquisition. Opponent's got one card in hand. We know it's not a counter spell, so we're going to save this until we want to resolve something else. Another land. So opponent could just be flooded. Well, there's a Liliana, so we're going to want that one to resolve. So we will Inquisition here. Okay, it's just a Hallowed Fountain. So we'll play this Liliana. We'll bolt my opponent. Tick up. Say go. Okay, there's Rest in Peace. That's pretty... it's alright against us. Like, it stops... it stops Kroxa for a start. Yeah, that's timely Rest in Peace. Still bolts my opponent for 3 damage here. Obviously playing this before combat. Before we tick up Liliana. That would have actually been lethal. Say my opponent had top decked a land. Okay, we get there. So yeah, that fracture was clutch actually. Destroy target planeswalker. That's should that see more play? I guess it doesn't hit if that hit creatures, it would obviously be seeing so much play, but. So ending was all right there, and we did see the Rest in Peace. We've kept in these bolts, mostly for Jace. Is Kaya's Guile that good? Makes a token, gains us life, but that's not great. I think I'm going to get rid of the Kaya's Guiles for some endings. Let's go with that. So yeah, we have to mulligan this. The hand's good if this Ragavan lives. Not very likely. I'm going to risk this. I don't want to go to 5. We'll get rid of this bolt. If we can hit a second land off the top, then that's obviously great. I think we have to lead on Ragavan here. Land. Oh, we do hit a land. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to play this Ragavan. Because then if our opponent wants to go turn 2, rest in peace. I guess Fracture answers rest in peace as well. Opponent could have Chalice here. Another Fracture. So... I guess we'll attack first. Opponent definitely has something to kill this. Fire Ice, Lightning Bolt. I think those are the only options. So this is a good position because my opponent can't both hold up counter spell and kill the Ragavan. I mean, probably. Oh, they could do if they've got Solitude. But Solitude here is still a 2 for 1. It's the treasure I really want because we are a little bit short on lands. Probably should have played the land. Might have made my opponent less likely to kill the Ragavan. Okay, so opponent does have fire. So we'll Thoughtseize now. Okay, so what am I most afraid of? I could take the Deluge. I think I'm going to take the... What's the flashback on this? Yeah, I'm going to take Deluge here. That's what I'm most afraid of at the moment, I think. These Fractures can answer to Fairy. But Deluge can search for whatever my opponent needs. Which is kind of early interaction by the look of it. So if we'd have Thoughtseize on one... Okay, show me a land. Please show me a land. Oh, tapping that is rough. Show me a land. Yeah, that's not good. That was a good draw for my opponent as well. Because now sadly they are kind of marching on towards the Fairy. Oh, come on. It's just really rough. If we'd hit a land at any point in this this sequence, we'd be really, really well off here. But the lack of land is really doing us in. Okay. Kind of want our opponent to go for Teferi here. There's Kahira. That probably means they've got a counter spell. Land. Ice again. Land. We do find a land. Okay, so we've got a land. We've got 6 decent cards in hand. Okay. I kind of want my opponent to go for the big Teferi here. Okay, so yeah, that's good because I can. Just means I can use my mana. So we'll go and get another Blood Crypt here. Fracture this. So yeah. So opponent's got some reasonable cards. I wonder what we're meant to do here. Are we meant to wait and Kolaghan's command in my opponent's turn? Are we meant to cast Liliana? I feel like I'm meant to Kolaghan's command in my opponent's upkeep. Buy back Ragavan. Is it worth buying back Ragavan? What's my opponent doing here? 2 mana. Oh, it could be Shark Typhoon. Okay, so we're going to go for Kolaghan's command now. So we'll go target player, discards a card, deal 2 damage. We're at 9, so we kind of need to kill this. And it's drawing 2 cards. Yeah, so that Archmage's Charm, we obviously like. Not casting the Lily there now. Thoughtseize is interesting, but I think we have to go Liliana. We're really short on mana here. Okay, that resolves. Okay, so they're going to get to Deluge. Yeah, this game is moving beyond us here. We're going to discard the ending. Yeah, opponent's got 6 cards in hand and they've just essentially dug through time. Opponent discards an ending, implying they're not too afraid of the Liliana. Yeah, an opponent untapping with a control opponent untapping with 7 mana and 5 cards is when we're tapped out is really pretty daunting. Okay, they have a purge. Really need a land. Well, okay, that's not too bad. So we can go Thoughtseize. Counter spell. Okay, so now we're going to dash this Ragavan. We know our opponent's got Solitude, but they can't hard cast it at the moment. Another Deluge. This is so good. So opponent might just be looking for the a white card to Solitude this Ragavan. No, they either don't have it or yeah, they either don't have it or oh, Hall of Storm Giants is pretty good. Okay, so we find a land, but we can't really shock that in. We could dash the Ragavan. Our opponent goes, we have to be really careful here. I think we have to go Seasoned Pyromancer. Because we need to be able to block the hall. So at this point, I kind of want to get rid of lands. Do this and this. Okay. And then cast Ragavan with the treasure. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, now that my opponent's found that Hall of Storm Giants, that's really rough. Opponent's going to get to go Solitude as well. Yeah, okay, so I think in this match in the future I will be bringing in Alpine Moon, Terminate, potentially. Oh, it's flashing back Deluge. This card's so good. Okay, see what my opponent does. Opponent could just start smashing us with Hall of Storm Giants, but they probably don't. They're so far ahead here. Okay, so we could go... okay, so I think I'm going to shock in. I'm just going to go for this Tourach. Opponent's probably got a counterspell, yeah. So we just pass the turn here, otherwise we just die to Solitude. We may die anyway. So yeah, Solitude. Yeah, those early turns, I think the early turns are really key. Okay, so opponent found double Solitude. Sure. Okay, we die there. So missing that land in the early turns was really rough. Mulliganing as well, looking for lands was rough. But yeah, you know, it doesn't take much in this matchup, it seems, for the opponent to just be able to turn the corner. And I probably should have brought in an answer to, well, I probably should have left in some removal. Let's put it that way. Okay, well, see you for the next round. Okay, we see a pretty good hand for round 4 even. Sitting at 1 and 2 at the moment, so not the best, but we're having fun with our Mardu deck. Let's see what our opponent has in store for us. They reveal Lurrus, so this hand I think is fairly good against some of the Lurrus strategies. Blood Crypt. So if it's a creature, we'll kill it. Okay, yeah, we're definitely killing that. Kai's Guile, a nice pickup. So I think we're just going to go Bolt. We could have waited there, actually. Yeah, we should have waited. I guess I didn't want to get like Drown locked, but we wouldn't have actually had any cards in the graveyard, so. Okay, so this turn we get to go. Oh no, we don't. I was going to say we could Stomp and then Thoughtseize, but actually I think we're just going to go Godless Shrine or Stomp. Because we're running out of time to kill that. Stomp if my opponent gets Delirium next turn. This could just be Grixis, could be a Shadow again. We've got a good draw, we've got a good play next turn. Okay, okay, so this works out well. Opponent buys Lurrus. We hit Lily. I think, yeah, the trouble with Thoughtseize is it only uses one of our mana this turn. We're definitely playing the land. I think I'm just going to Thoughtseize the Lurrus. Okay, yeah, so it is Death Shadow. Opponent does have Drown in the lock. So yeah, let's just take Lurrus here. So yeah, Drown lock is going to be able to counter our stuff. Okay. So opponent found a land. Well, yeah, maybe we went wrong here. Now our opponent goes to go Shadow, hold up Blood Crypt, which is pretty good. Maybe I don't fetch here. Okay, I think I'm fine not fetching here, because if we draw an untapped land. Okay. Yeah, if we draw an untapped land there, we could have played one of our 3-drops without getting countered, but now whatever we play gets countered. So I think we have to go for maybe we I think we just get a mountain here. Then we're going to try and cast this Liliana of the Veil. Yeah, that turn cycle was really bad for us. If we draw a land next turn, though, we get well, supposing our opponent blanks. Seasoned Pyromancer. So here I think we have to go for Kaya's Guile. So yeah, my opponent's upkeep, we're going to go, each opponent sacrifices a creature. Gaining 4 life is actually slightly better than making a 1/1 here. This is the trouble with these 3 mana spells. They get a little bit caught up in your hand. Okay, we take 3. Thoughtseize, that's okay. Probably takes Liliana. Yep. Okay, so we find the land. We're just going to ending this. Hopefully our opponent hasn't got. Counterspell. Play the land, say go. Don't know what our opponent's got in hand. But we've got a stocked hand now. I mean, well, double Seasoned Pyromancer isn't great, I guess. Would I rather bolt my opponent or make an extra token? Put them to 5. I think I'm going to bolt. If they had another shadow, they'd have played it. We're running 4 copies of Lightning Bolt. So opponent's probably got removal spells in hand. Think we're going to hold that land. Yeah, in case my opponent has Kolaghan's Command or Kroxa. We've actually got lethal next turn, depending on what our opponent has. Okay, there's a Ragavan. So we can potentially force the block here. We can force the block. Opponent will block our Ragavan. Okay, so we'll play a land. We're just going to dash our Ragavan. Yeah, we're going to attack with everything. And then Bonecrusher just gets really hard for our opponent to remove. Okay, so they do have an Unholy Heat. Play this Bonecrusher Giant. Ooh. So yeah, the powerful 3 mana spells do you know, these, if you can survive the initial onslaught, they can come up good. Let's see if our opponent has anything for us. Death Shadow is kind of scary. Okay, we get there. So the question is, do we Leyline of the Void again? I think so. I think it is right. So we'll bring in this kind of stuff. I took out all of the discard last time, which is maybe incorrect. I think Tourach's probably a bit slow as well. Let's go with that. Right, I think I think we're going to keep this. Don't really want to mulligan. The mana's a bit awkward. If this was a Godless Shrine or a fetch, we'd be a lot happier. Again, need to find our 3rd land. Okay, so opponent plays a Ragavan, so I would love to find a fetch land, or any white source would have been really good. So we'll cast our own, but yeah, we're in danger of just being rolled by this Ragavan. We definitely block, but if our opponent has heat or push or bolt, yeah. Maybe we should have played the Savai Triome there. Definitely possible. Oh, Marsh Flats would have been good. Opponent short on lands as well. Yeah, they are. Okay, so yeah, I wish I played the Savai Triome now. Liliana. Maybe I meant to just play the Tourach. No, I think we'll play the Triome. Yeah, we're going to have to take another hit from this Ragavan. Bloodstained Mire. I guess at least my opponent's not finding lands potentially. This could be iteration. Black, blue. Is this going to be... Yeah, Kroxa's fine. No, they've got iteration, that's pretty good. So this turn... Actually, I think we could go Seasoned Pyromancer here, because that blocks these fine. Don't know, see what we draw. Will our opponent hit a land? Yes, they do. Have they got Thoughtseize? The hand's kind of Thoughtseize proof. Okay, find another Blood Crypt. So we could ending this, but I think I'd rather Seasoned Pyromancer. Then next turn we'll go for Tourach. I guess we could keep our Seasoned Pyromancer even. I think we can, yeah, we will get rid of a land, and I think Liliana now. Yes, we draw another land. So we should be able to block this Ragavan now. This is a bit scary, but we've got the answer to both of these creatures now. Okay, the opponent wisely deciding to not attack with the Ragavan. Okay, so that's pretty good. So we could go Tourach, but if they've got Drown, I think we're just going to go ending this. Opponent might drown this. Maybe we should have kept the Liliana. Okay, they're bolting our Spyro, which is fine. So we'll then bolt this. Probably should have played a land first to play around Terminate. Sorry, play around Spell Pierce. We'll just pass the turn here. I'm not going to attack. Rather guard against a dashed Ragavan, especially with the opponent short on lands. I think the opponent probably has Drown in the lock. Okay, so we draw Blackcleave Cliffs. So let's just kick this Tourach. Get my opponent discarding 2 cards at random. See what they discard. Ragavan, Unholy Heat. Play a land. Pass the turn. Yes, just so next turn we've got a pretty good turn. We can go Terminate the Ragavan, play Spyro. Okay, opponent finds a land. They still can't Death Shadow. Okay, they just buy Lurrus. See what we draw here. Okay, Liliana's pretty good. So let's go Liliana. Edict. Then we can actually just attack for 5. Because we have a Terminate in hand. And we have a Seasoned Pyromancer in the bin to potentially block Death Shadows. Now that our opponent doesn't have things like Team of Battle Rage. Opponent can Lurrus here, so I can go Lurrus. I guess we're going to have to terminate the Lurrus. Will they go and get basic here? We got 5 damage coming in. So they can't. They could Thoughtseize Lurrus. They didn't go they cast Thoughtseize, cast Lurrus, cast Bauble. But I think that's fine. Okay, there's Dragon's Race Channeler. Here's Lurrus. Okay, so they're going to go Lurrus and then Bauble. So we'll let my opponent surveil. Don't want to give them the extra information from the Kroxa from the knowledge that we're going to be killing the Lurrus here. So opponent knows what we're drawing. They don't have to block this Tourach. But don't know. Might be that they see Bolt on top or Ragavan. Let's see what's on top. Ooh, that's a good one. Oh, that is just superb. Actually, that just lets us do absolutely everything. Exile all opponents' graveyards and they sacrifice a creature. Gets rid of their Kroxa. Yeah, that's just nutty. I'm not going to tick up Liliana here. Probably should have left this token back. Yeah, definitely should have left the token back. We don't want to tick up Liliana. Want to save this Seasoned Pyromancer in our hand. Opponent's got 3 or 4 cards in hand anyway. Yeah, opponent was probably pretty dismayed to see that Kaya's Guile on the top. No, I was going to say maybe we could Seasoned Pyromancer, but you discard first, so we couldn't have found land. Okay, so opponent iterations. They can't Thoughtseize us anymore. Oh, they find a Death Shadow, so that's definitely a plus for definitely a plus for plussing Liliana there. But I think I'd rather have Seasoned Pyromancer. I guess. Ooh, would that have grown the Tourach? That would have grown the Tourach last turn. Or we're just drawing absolute fire here. Opponent can't actually drown in the lock this. Because they can't fetch shock. See, what I was saying is last turn Liliana plussing would have triggered Tourach and given us an extra point of power. But we do get there, so we're 1-on-1 against Death Shadow this league. So yeah, let's go for the final round, playing for the 3-2. Right, round number 5. We will be on the play. Yeah, we're okay keeping this. Again, it's a bit awkward, but it's got a turn 1 Ragavan. Which we'll play. And then if it connects, we get a turn 2 Liliana. See if that's good. Yeah, obviously need to find our 3rd land. Preferably a Sacred Foundry. Okay, opponent is going to bolt this, I think. Okay, show me a land. More Liliana of the Veils is not really what we want. Okay, so I think, yeah, we definitely want. We can definitely use a few more lands in this deck. If we can find a land, we've got such a good hand though. See what my opponent does. This is probably Murktide. Is it Murktide? If we can find, yeah, fetch land any land. Not quite any land, but okay. So they are dashing a Ragavan. Okay, Seasoned Pyromancer is actually a good one to get off the top. Because we didn't want to draw that. Later on in the game we'd like to draw that, but certainly not now. Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Really need a land. Oh, woof. Okay. Yeah, so we'll save this Terminate for a Ragavan, I think. If they dash it again. That way my opponent can't hold up counter spell next turn. Unless they have main Expel Pierce, which they sometimes do. If we can find... Okay, Bolt's not too bad. I'm just going to bolt that now. Yeah. Could have waited in case our opponent draws another Ragavan. That's probably the play, actually. Yeah, kind of wish I'd done that. Yeah, missing land drops here is really rough. Okay, opponent's got Iteration. We've dealt with all their threats, and Liliana can take care of a Murktide potentially. Tarn. Right, what we want is them to go Murktide and then us to find an untapped land. Okay, they do have another dashed Ragavan. Opponent gets a treasure. Oh, that would have been perfect draw. Yeah, we've had a few games where we've been jammed on lands. I guess, yeah. Come on, land. Draw us a land. Yes. Okay, so that's amazing. So that can go and get Sacred Foundry. We can kill the Ragavan. And then we'll buy back our Ragavan, I think. Okay, there's a Ragavan. Okay, so we can fetch. Let's go and get Sacred Foundry. So we got double red, double black. We would like to pay 2 life. Kolaghan's command. So, do I get back my Ragavan? I think I want my opponent to discard. Target player discards a card, deal 2 damage. So doing that, I think we're going to struggle to play this Ragavan. Okay, Archmage's Charm, that's fine here. If we draw a land, we can kind of do everything. Right, Liliana. So we're going to take our chance to resolve this. Make my opponent sacrifice their Ragavan. Okay. Opponent could bolt or heat this. We've got 2 more Lilianas, so they can potentially take care of... Oh, dashed Ragavan. Okay, kills the Liliana. Okay, ending. Okay, so now we just need to hold up Kolaghan's command. Opponent's gone through 3 Ragavans. Okay, opponent draws 2. Opponent's got 7 cards in hand. We're going to need to find another land so that we can go ending Liliana in the same turn. Dragon's Rage Channeler is a 3/3, so we've got an ending for that. Okay, so opponent didn't dash, so I'm going to go Kolaghan's Command again. Same modes. It's probably it's a counter spell, but then if we find a land, we're really in good shape. Because we can go, if we find an untapped land, we can go ending Liliana. Come on, untapped land. So given we're at 12, I think we want to ending this. And then we'll just cast this. We've been really short on lands this game. Just one more is what we want. Okay, so they heat our Ragavan. We're at 12. We go to 9 from this attack. Consider. So hopefully, yeah. Again, we want this. We want the same kind of thing. We want our opponent to go Murktide Regent, and then for us to go ending Liliana. So looking like my opponent is playing Murktide Regent. So we really need to find a land now. Otherwise, we're not quite dead next turn. Land. Oh, for goodness sake. So we could go ending Kroxa, which I think is what we're going to do. Oh, we just, yeah, any land here, and we're so in such good shape. As it is, we're just going to take 8 here and then probably just die to whatever my opponent's got in hand. They get rid of a heat. You know, if my opponent just bricks for ages, they could have another Murktide Regent which kills us. Okay, we take 8. They can have a lot of stuff here. Counterspell. Oh, yeah, that kills us as well. And we finally draw the land. Okay. So, yeah, we kind of died there looking for lands. Kind of this, yeah, we've had that a couple of times this league. That was just, there were 3 or 4 turns, I think, where if we'd hit a land, we would have been we'd have been really, really in that game. But sadly not. I think we are going to bring in Leyline here, and Terminate and Thoughtseize. What don't we want? So Tourach isn't great. They can just bolt or heat it. All these cards are good. We need 4 more cuts though. Maybe we're meant to cut some Inquisitions. And then, oh, I've brought in an extra Thoughtseize. It's difficult. Do you take this as a mid-range match or a control matchup? They are running counter spells. I think we'll just keep 3 Thoughtseize in. Go with that. Yeah, that'll do. See how that goes. Yeah, let me know how you board for this matchup if you're watching. With this kind of deck, yeah. It's definitely an interesting one. Don't know whether Leyline is correct, but I feel like it could be pretty good. Yeah. No Leyline, but we're going to keep it. Do we Thoughtseize on 1 is the question. We haven't got a removal spell, so I think I am just going to Thoughtseize on 1. Well, Ragavan on 1 is so good, but I think we are going to Thoughtseize here. And we can go Thoughtseize Ragavan next turn. Okay, opponent's got double Ragavan, which we can't actually answer. Could take the Bauble and try and starve my opponent on mana. I think we're just going to take the heat. Yeah, we'll take heat here. There's not really any point in taking the orb, taking the Ragavan. There's Bauble. Again, we need to find our next land. Tarn. Do they look at themselves? Yeah, so there wasn't a land on top. There's Ragavan. And another... Okay, so Bauble was the draw for turn. Okay. So they get to draw all their cards here. So the reason for taking the heat... Oh, come on. Oh, we've just got so many times by that today. I feel like it's still correct. But I'm going to go and get Sacred Foundry here. Thoughtseize our opponent. Still no land for our opponent, so we're going to take the heat again. Yeah, the reason we're taking the heat is so that our Ragavan can block my opponent's Ragavan. Because yeah, we really don't want them. Well, I guess we could let them hit here, but then make an iteration to look for land. So, oh, they find another heat. Just rough. We've Thoughtseize 2 heats and they find a third. Yeah, bet it's a land. Yeah, there's the land we want. Opponent hasn't got great stuff in hand. We are at 11. Alright, show me a land. Untap land. Yes. Okay, so this can just go and get basic swamp. And then we get to, so we get 2 good discards here, at least. Yeah, and this is kind of more what I was talking about with Leyline of the Void. It has been painful to draw, but at least we can get it away with Seasoned Pyromancer. So this coming turn, I think, it depends what my opponent does, but I'm going to look to cash in this Kaya's Guile because it stops my opponent. It stops my opponent playing Murktide Regent. Lightning Bolt. Still no land for our opponent. Or we could ending dash Ragavan, but we know that our opponent's got another Ragavan, and if they go land and they've yeah, I'm just cashing in this Kaya's Guile. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Because if my opponent's drawn Murktide Regent, we can attack here with... I'm just going to attack with 1. I really don't want my opponent to be able to get through with Ragavan. But yeah. So if they'd gone land Murktide Regent, then we're in a lot of trouble. Okay, so we can actually dash Ragavan here. Although I'll probably leave back an elemental still. Okay, counterspell. Now I can attack with 3, given that I've got a bolt as well. Actually, I could probably attack with more. Yeah, I should probably just be attacking with everything there. Okay, opponent finds iteration. Question is, if my opponent goes land Ragavan, are we going to use the bolt or are we going to use this? I think we're going to use the Misty and then try and bolt my opponent's face. Okay, there's Ragavan. Yeah, so we're just going to bolt my opponent here. We'll be able to put them to 2. There's another Leyline of the Void. Yeah, I'm just going to attack with everything here. Want to make sure we can present lethal next turn. Okay, opponent's at 2. They can't currently cast Murktide Regent. Okay. Looks like we get there in this game. So do we take out the Leyline of the Voids is the question. So I wasn't actually... Well, the Thoughtseizes were fine there. Maybe we should be on EE. Yeah, I feel like EE. Let's cut the Thoughtseizes. Go EE. And then... Well, maybe we'll keep one Thoughtseize in. I feel like Leyline of the Void is fine. You know, stops Dragon's Rage Channeler. I don't know. People... I'm after advice and see what people think here. Do comment below with what you think of Leyline of the Void at the moment. I don't know, I get the feeling it's good. You know, in this deck we've got so much removal. You know, if we land one of these, Murktide Regent can only ever be a 3/3, and Dragon's Rage Channeler can only ever be a 1/1. Well, we've got so much removal for those things. I'm gonna Okay, so we got the 4 lands, we got a Kroxa, we got Ragavan into Kroxa, but I think I'm going to mulligan, because if my opponent goes Ragavan and then bolt our Ragavan attack, that's an easy way to lose. I think we're going to... This is such a risk. I think we're going to mulligan again. This is essentially a mulligan already. Oh, are we just going to get got here? Okay, this hand is actually okay. We'll put Pyro and Ending on the bottom. So yeah, we get to go... We have to be a bit reactive here if our opponent goes Ragavan. Okay, so there's a Ragavan. Okay, that's a really nice draw. So yeah, we're just straight up bolting the Ragavan. Often you want to save it until the combat step in your opponent's turn to play around with a second Ragavan, but here, when your opponent can have counter spells, I think this is fine. So yeah, obviously drawing the Bloodstained Mire is great there. Opponent could be stuck on lands again. We're going to Thoughtseize this turn. Question is, do we go and get black or red? Okay, opponent fetch shock. Did we only keep one Thoughtseize in? Yeah. So yeah, seeing it's good here. Okay, there's a Ragavan and a Dragon's Rage Channeler. Sure. Okay, Kaya's Guile's a nice draw. So I think we're just going to go Thoughtseize here and then bolt. Yep. Okay, so we'll take that Dragon's Rage, the Murktide Regent, and then we'll go ahead and bolt the Ragavan. So yeah, get Sacred Foundry here because get Sacred Foundry just because it's we needed to bolt, and we're also kind of drawing towards Seasoned Pyromancers. So opponent's got one Dragon's Rage Channeler in the graveyard, in their hand, which are a bit scary. If they don't play it, that implies they've probably got Archmage's Charm. I think we need to be keeping Thoughtseize in. I think I've misboarded. I think the Leyline of the Void should possibly just be Thoughtseizes. If our opponent rips another Murktide, that's a problem. Like a third land is also really strong here for us. If my opponent doesn't do anything, we're going to dash this Ragavan. Well, if my opponent doesn't do anything and we don't find a land, yeah, I think we just do the Ragavan. Okay, there's the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Please don't be Murktide as well. Ah, it is, isn't it? Yeah, that's just gross. Yeah, this is just over probably now. I mean, it's only a 3/3 Murktide at least, but I mean, we Thoughtseized a Murktide and everything yeah, I don't know. It's the Lightning Bolt as well. This is just, yeah, I feel that we've gotten really, really unlucky here. Opponents just rips gas at every available opportunity. If we can find a land, not so bad. If we find a land, we can't really Kaya's Guile to exile my opponent's graveyard. I suppose we probably do. It makes the Murktide one bigger, but okay, that is a land. Do I want to do it now is the question. I think so. I think my opponent just ripping a counter spell is just brutal. So we go, each opponent sacrifices a creature. We could just make a 1/1 to block. No, I feel like we're exiling. Trouble with exiling is it makes this Murktide region even bigger. We could gain some life. I'm exiling their graveyard, I think. Sacrifice a creature, exile their graveyard. Yeah, it's going to make this Murktide a little bit bigger. Yeah. Just need our opponent to not rip more gas. Okay. Yeah, maybe we're meant to make a 1/1 there, actually. Okay, opponent doesn't rip gas. Are we meant to stomp this? I don't think so. Because we need to find Terminate. Well, they are the best draws we could have hoped for. So if our opponent whiffs, we can go Ending Terminate. Please just don't have anything. It'd be so rubbish for them to have Bolt. Okay, they find another land. Well, that's a good one. Okay, so we'll Ending this. Terminate this. So yeah, some good draws of our own there. Yeah, we're going to leave this elemental back on blocking duty. Because we are dead to a Ragavan. Okay, Bauble redraw for our opponent. This is what I mean about Thoughtseize though, that just gets pretty rough. Godless Shrine. Okay, we'll play it. Again, just attacking with the... This is a 5-turn clock. It would be 4 turns if we attack with the elemental. Okay. Opponent has got enough mana to cast a Murktide Regent. Don't know what they have in hand. Well, Kroxa is a very good draw. So yeah, we're just going to go this. It's close. They got heat. Okay. Yeah, Kroxa's decent. Don't know if they know that we've got Leyline of the Void. Got another heat. Snapcaster Mage. Oh, target. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, yeah. Okay. Heat, snap, heat. Yeah. Yeah, we just lose. Okay. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Oh, I feel like we. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I feel like that was close. That was really close. You know, I suppose I can't complain too much about my opponent's draws. We drew Prismatic Ending, Terminate, and that. I mean, we played to it, and we wanted the Terminate. So yeah, we go 2-3. Deck definitely needs another land. It's definitely clogged on this kind of three mana stuff. So I guess Bonecrusher can be cast for 2 mana. Seasoned Pyromancer is probably the best card in the deck. I probably want to go up to 4 of those. And I think maybe finding room for some fatal pushes would be good as well. Carter's Guile was excellent. Kolaghan's Command, excellent. Ending's just excellent card as well. Sideboard, Leyline Void hurt us a couple of times, so maybe we should just be playing Spell Bomb or something. But Fracture proved pretty good. So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed that, and yeah, we'll see you again soon. Cheers.